Hi, this is horticulturist Jessica Walliser for Savvy Gardening, and I'm busy in my garden today making my own homemade blend of potting soil. I have a lot of large pots to fill in my garden every year, and rather than buying commercial mixes, I often will mix my own potting soil just to save some money and save me a trip to the garden center. And this is what I do it in, my nice big tractor cart. It's much loved, as you can see, and we attach it to our lawn tractor. But here's how I make my own homemade compost blend. I combine peat moss, which is a bagged product that you can get, finely shredded sphagnum peat moss. And if you don't like using peat moss, you can also use core fiber, which is a coconut-based fiber that's from the husk of a coconut, and that would work as a reasonable substitute for the peat moss. And then I also use perlite, and that's what this looks like here. And it comes in a big giant bag like this, and it's cheap when you buy it from a big bag like this, but this is actually a naturally mined volcanic rock that's then heated and expanded to make these little white, almost styrofoam-like pellets, but they help keep the mix very light and very well draining. And then I combine that with this wonderful leaf compost, which our municipality actually gives away for free from the leaves collected on the borough streets. They suck them up in the fall and then recycle them by composting them in big windrows, and they turn them on a regular basis, and it's really good stuff. I use it to mulch my garden, and then I also use it to make my own homemade potting soil. And so basically, to make this potting soil, I am mixing about 1/3 of the peat moss, or let's say 1 part peat moss, to 1 part of the compost, to about 1/3 to 1/2 part of the perlite. And I actually just use this little soil scoop that I have to scoop it, and then I add it into the bin like this, and I'll do a few scoops of the peat moss, and then I'll do some of perlite on there, and then I'll add some of the compost on there as well. And then what I'll actually do is blend it. Sometimes I'll use a flat bladed hoe to do the blending, and then sometimes I'll just turn it with my shovel. And then of course you also want to add your own source of nutrients as well. So I will usually use a complete granular organic fertilizer, any one that is maybe 3-4-3 or 4-3-4, something like that, and the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium range is good. You don't want to go too high in any one of those nutrients, and you ideally want a slow release form of nutrients as well. And that, and combined with the compost and then the lightness of the peat moss and the perlite, make a really wonderful mix. And that is what I use in all of my containers, from large to small. The only exception is if I'm going to be growing succulents or cacti, then I will actually substitute that compost for a coarse builder's sand, because those types of plants really like a good gritty soil mix. And so that is a simple way to make your own DIY homemade soil blend for filling containers, and it works like a charm, and it helps feed your plants all season long. Thanks for watching. Again, this is Jessica from Savvy Gardening, and we hope you'll subscribe to the Savvy Gardening YouTube channel for more great gardening information. Thanks, and have a great day.